on, girl, let's scream.
I am a god.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. This is the part where you run.
Come on, scream.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Scream, a podcast where we dive into our favorite horror movies. I'm Parker.
And I'm Stevie.
And today we're looking at 2006's Final Destination 3, directed by James Wong.
Join us as we journey to the roller coaster. And we learn all about death.
Death.
To all of them.
To all of them. Death.
Death to all of them.
Girl, you ready to scream?
Come on, girl. Let's scream. Okay, so this is a fun one.
Well, first of all, sorry for lying last week and saying that we were going to do...
I edited it out.
Oh, never mind.
We'll do that later. We were always going to do Final Destination 3.
Yes, because we knew that the new one had just come out.
Right. Well, I didn't just see the commercial for it. I was like, oh shit. We got to do something for that since that's coming out.
So we basically, since all of these movies are the exact same movie, drew from a hat and picked 3. No, we actually picked it because of one scene in particular.
Well, I think this is my favorite one. So
This is your favorite.
I wanted to do it. Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Final Destination fan.
No, me neither.
Because they're all the same.
Me
they're
neither.
all the same movie.
But I do...
They're all the same.
I do think
But
that they're
4 is-
campy.
4, I think, is publicly agreed awful. A lot of people do not like 4.
I've never seen 4.
It has so much
though.
3D. Like, it was a 3D film.
3D. Like,
So
it's coming right at
Yeah,
me.
so there's a lot of that, and just, like, people say it's really bad. The CGI, that's, like, the biggest offender of that one, too. Because I think that one mostly relies on it. Where this one has a lot of practical effects. But there is some bad CGI at points.
Of course there is. This came out in the early 2000s, 2006 particular.
Yeah.
That era was very explosions, gore, action, gore.
Yeah.
Gore.
How much can we get away with, basically?
Yes.
Because this is it's really just a special effects showcase.
This was the age of Saw. You know, this was the age of House of Wax with Paris Hilton we covered recently. All the remakes. It was gore. And I think this movie has great gore. It's really fun. I think it's campy. I think it has a lot of fun going for it.
Oh, yeah. This is, like, the thing I do appreciate about the Final Destination movies is they're very self-aware, they're very campy.
That's why I like them. That's why I think that's why it works.
Because it's not like Saw, where Saw is all of what this is, but, like, very high stakes and dramatic and, like, terrifying. This is more like... Bitch, what's gonna happen?
Right, yeah. That's literally how I feel when I watch this.
I mean,
bitch.
every scene is the exact scene where it's set up of, something's gonna happen that's gonna kill them. What's it gonna be?
Right, and the whole plot is, we need to go warn this person because they're next in line. Hey, you're gonna die. Boom, they die.
They die.
And that
no,
just
I'm
happens,
not dead.
Right, and that happens over and over again. But hey, this one has the most fun kills out of the whole series, I think. Like, the creativity involved was really, really neat, and I'm excited to get into all these crazy deaths.
Yeah.
Is there any, like, kind of big negatives other than just, like, it's Final Destination and, like, they're...
No, I don't really. I
predictable?
think this movie actually has some, like, they do some fun things with it, even, like, besides the kills. Like, I think there's some good use of music throughout this movie.
Okay, yeah.
Like, and 2 scenes in particular for me. Well, I guess technically 3, but, like...
Good soundtrack, we like.
I think it's, I think everyone in it is really fun. I don't think there's any, like...
Yes, and I really like Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes,
I think
the lead
she's
girl.
Great.
I think
she's been in a million other horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm sure we haven't seen the last of her on this channel. And she's most known for, like, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I'd say. Also, Sky High. She was Royal Pain in Sky High.
Yes.
Of course. But yeah, I think that's all before we get into spoilers. Are you ready to dive into the plot, Diva?
Yeah, let's go, girl.
Girl, are you ready to go to the roller coaster? Okay, so Final Destination 3 opens. We are in an amusement park. And we meet the cast of characters as they're, like, going around, riding rides. I love theme parks. And I love roller coasters.
Yes.
So I always just was really drawn to this movie. And definitely is why, like, this whole first sequence is what makes it stand out for me.
Mm-hmm.
You hate roller coasters.
Yeah, they're not my thing. Well, because I have not just a fear of heights, but my biggest like fear is a fear of falling, like thousands of feet to my death.
Okay.
Like, I know that's crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because there's a story that I think we should tell.
Yes.
So we went to Kings Island last summer, and we didn't realize how bad you were with roller coasters. I think it was the first time you and I had ever been to a theme park together in like all 10 years of friendship or however long it's been. And so I was like, let's go on the fucking Diamondback first. It'll be fine, y'all. I've been on some crazy shit, okay? And the Diamondback is like probably one of the craziest rides at Kings Island. It's like just like a really scary roller coaster like the one in this movie. I wasn't like thinking about it in the mindset of somebody who isn't used to roller coasters. So I'm thinking like, yeah, the Diamondback is like a warm-up ride. And we get on, and you were starting to get scared, like waiting in line.
Yes. Well, there was a little kid there who was like so excited. So I was like, okay, if this kid can do it. So I kind of hyped myself up. And then we get into the ride, and I didn't realize also it's not a seat.
No. You're like
I'm kind of like actually like kind of getting like panicked about this right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm getting a little overwhelmed.
Don't cry, Diva.
I'm not gonna cry, but like I almost did because of this ride.
So the ride starts, and we get up to the top. We're inching up the top of the hill, and like me and like our Keaton and Travis are all like waving down, like doing that. Oh, hi, the paparazzi. Like, and I noticed that Stevie is starting to really shut down, and I'm like, oh no, like I hope this wasn't a bad idea. Da 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 da. And as soon as we get up to the top of the ride, you turn over to Keaton,
and I said, I can't do this.
I can't do this.
Keaton went, I don't know what to tell you.
You have to.
Yeah. You have to.
And then
what
I was
got
your
to a
experience
point,
like riding the roller coaster?
I learned screaming helps. I didn't scream on this. I fully just... I got to that first, I was just like, I'm just bracing myself for this fall.
Uh-huh.
And then I got to a point where I had to close my eyes and I just kind of went limp.
That's the worst thing to do.
Which I didn't. I was just like, I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to do at this point.
Yeah, you have to like...
And then Keaton just had to kind of like talk me through of like, okay, this is literally the last, like, that was the big part. We're done. Like, we're just going to be doing some twisting here. Okay, we're coming to the water part, and then we're done. And then we just, like, finished, and I got off, and I just had to step aside for a moment with Keaton.
And I feel like I traumatized you.
It kind of did.
And I'm like, woo, that was amazing. Ready for the next one.
I didn't cry, but I almost did.
It was very traumatic, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forget.
I don't know if I ever fully apologized for that moment.
Well, you did at the moment, because you're like, are you okay? You're like, oh, I didn't realize. You're like, and I was like, it's okay. I shouldn't have done. I'm like, I should have just walked with you all and be like, nope, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
I should have just waited.
But you can say that you did.
I can say I did it. I will never do it again.
You conquered your fear.
I will never. Well,
that's what Final Destination 3 is all about.
I don't know if I conquered it, but
you escaped death.
I got a little hyperventilated talking about it just now. So, because I did write other ones that I liked. There were some other fun ones that I did.
Yeah, that's true. You liked the like wooden one.
I liked the wooden ones because I was like, these can only do so much.
And like the racer, you like that one.
That one was fun.
Adventure Express is always one of my favorites.
I thought that one was good. That one was not...
With the animatronic guys going... Doom, doom.
Yeah, that one I really liked. That one I thought was... I didn't think that one was crazy at all.
So, getting back to our movie, we meet...
The start of the movie.
Right. So, we meet our cast of characters. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays a girl named Wendy.
I think she's a good final girl.
I like her, yeah. She's taking photos. She's like editor of the yearbook or something, and she needs to submit these photos for her graduating class because they're out on a trip right now.
Yeah.
So, the main friend group is her and her boyfriend Jason, and then her best friend Carrie, and Carrie's boyfriend Kevin.
Yes.
And he's kind of a perv and kind of a douchebag. Like, I think you're not supposed to like him. He's from Smart House
and Luck of the Irish.
Yes.
I recognized him and I was like, oh, I know him. And
Disney
those
Channel.
Those are the two movies.
Which those are great.
He was one of the Disney Channel heartthrobs.
Yeah, but looking back on it, he wasn't that cute.
No, I was like, oh, he's like fine.
He's fine. Whatever.
He had a baby face though.
Maybe that's what it was. Like
when we were younger, it was like,
kind of
he's like,
yeah.
But now it's like, yeah, baby faces were in.
I don't know. Yeah,
because he's like one of those people where I'm like, oh, you don't age.
He like grabs Wendy's digital camera and takes a picture of this girl's skirt as she walks past.
Damn.
What a fucking pervert. So we don't like him, but they are here with their graduating class, so we're meeting other people that Wendy has to take pictures of.
Yeah.
We get my favorite characters in the film. This is us. This is Ashley and Ashlyn. Cunty, okay? And they are like stereotypical bimbos.
They're just the bimbos.
I love bimbos. I think
bimbos will inherit the earth.
Yes, I was about to say, bimbos make the world go round. They are playing the squirt off game. Like, let's see how fast we can squirt. Like, they have their thongs hanging out of their underwear. Like, they're out of their skirts.
The whale tail was in.
Yes. So that shit was fucking funny. Love them. Wendy runs into her little sister, Julie, who snuck out to go to the carnival.
Because it's for seniors only.
Yeah, she isn't a senior. And she has an annoying little hat on. I don't like her little Senorita Awesome hat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of her identifying trait.
She's Senorita Awesome.
Yeah,
and she gives the finger to the camera.
Yeah, she's like, suck this. My finger.
I'm a bad girl.
Yeah.
I give you the finger.
We also meet the football player guy. Who
he's the football player.
He's not really friends with any of them. He just like randomly is there.
He's the one who plays football.
And he hits the like one game, the thing where like you hit and then the weight goes up.
Yeah, and I don't like him, and we'll get to that in a bit. Why I don't like him.
I don't like him either. Yeah, and he like hits the thing so hard because he's so strong that like the weight flies off of it.
Yeah, way to ruin the fun for everyone else.
Right?
That's strike number one for me.
Strike number one. Yeah. Wendy keeps like getting these weird like feelings. Like she has like a sixth sense.
Yeah.
She's like ESPN.
Or something.
And she's like, they're bad vibes right now. And so they get in line for a roller coaster called the Devil's Flight.
Yeah, and already I'd be like,
I love the design of this. It's like a big red Satan.
Yeah.
And like it reminds me of like a Six Flags kind of ride. Like the Superman or the Batman.
It was cool. It's a really cool one. I think Jimmy Neutron had like a roller because they
similar vibe. Right?
But it wasn't that in the movie. It was like this big roller coaster they wanted to go to.
Yes, I
or maybe the
that.
TV show.
I think they visited
an episode. There's one where it's like all about a roller coaster. There's a part all about a roller coaster.
It was giving that vibe for sure. There's also an emo couple in line who will come into play later. And this pervy guy he also has on like a Senorita Awesome hat. His name is Frankie. He's
another just unlikable character.
He has the video camera. It was giving very Dalton from House of Wax with Paris Hilton. Just being like a fucking skis. Yeah. And trying to film the divas.
There's a good mix of likable characters and unlikable characters, I think, in this group.
Yeah, because I don't like him. Oh, we hate them.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because I do like the emo couple. I think they're cool.
Mm-hmm. Kind of until they're not.
We'll
get there.
But
so like before they get on the ride, they have to switch places because Wendy doesn't want to sit in the front. She's like, I just have to sit in the back. Da, 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 da. So they switch, and so she has to ride in the back with Kevin, not her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And her friend has to ride with her boyfriend in the front. Okay. The ride begins to go off, and we get the roller coaster sequence.
Well, there's also like there's a part where two little kids were trying to get on. Oh yeah, and they're like, get off. Which I was like, oh, thank God.
But then we get the roller coaster sequence. I think it's like a really fucking amazing sequence. Yeah, the way that it's done. Apparently, they built a mini roller coaster like in front of a green screen for it.
Oh yeah.
So much went into it.
So there's a lot of good it's really good like practical but also CGI effects. Like I don't think it looks bad.
Yes, no, I think it's like for the time, this being early 2000s, it holds the fuck up. It really did well. It's so scary. It's
the pressure that kept because it's like an air pressure or like a water pressure thing that keeps them like strapped in.
Yeah.
And so once it bursts, like you see us like at the beginning, like it's kind of leaking. It's like, oh wait, what's that? So that's what causes it once it bursts. their things fly up, and that's how people start flying out.
Oh my God.
Because then the guy with the camera, he's like trying to film the girls, the Ashley and Ashlyn, and they hit it, and he falls, and it straps onto this track. So then that causes one of the wheels to dislodge from the track, which makes it just like fully freak out, and like pieces start flying off.
So, worst nightmare.
So then like people are flying off, falling off, getting hit, and then basically everyone one by one they start dying.
Yeah.
Until like the last two are
it's Wendy.
Wendy and Josh?
Kevin.
I don't know their names. I'm going to be real. Don't ask. I did watch this movie, but don't ask me these people's names.
Girl, that's every movie we watch.
I know. Because I'm like, girl, I don't know. But like, it's those two. Then he gets bisected. He gets like it starts going backwards because they like get stuck upside down. And he's like, help me swing it. And so they swing it and it starts going backwards, but then it's enough momentum. And so then he like stands up and gets like sliced in half.
Oh, and that was his like intestines were like flying out.
And then Wendy falls off, and as she's about to smash her face into the railing of the
it was
roller coaster,
it
was all a vision. She had a "That's So Raven" moment.
I just had a vision.
I'm a lesbian now.
That would be a funny alternate ending for this.
Raven Simone! I just had a vision. Really? I'm a lesbian now. Oh my goodness!
But no, she starts freaking out. She pulled a I can't do this. She's
like, how do I get out of this?
Right. So she starts freaking the fuck out, and
like the manager comes, is like, what's going on? And the workers are like, she's freaking out. And he's like, then just get her the fuck off.
Let's get her off. And a bunch of other people start to get off too, including our divas.
Yeah, because the two, Ashley and Ashlyn, are like, oh, we don't want to be near this perv. So that's their reason for getting off.
This is so high school. Like, get up and leave. So that was funny. And then, the emo couple, I believe, got off as well.
Yeah.
And the football guy ended up leaving.
And he gets really mean and starts yelling at Wendy, like calling her a bitch over all of it. Like, it's like, dude, calm down. Who gives
he's super aggro.
And like, this is why I also don't like him, because I'm like, dude, you just went from 0 to 100 for no fucking reason.
That's very him. Yeah. So I think he ends up getting like taken away just for causing like a huge scene.
That's why he gets kicked out. They're like, nope, you're done.
And Jason and Carrie, the friends, are stuck on there. They try to get off, but at that point the ride's starting, and the ride attendant is like, no, come on, we're getting on. So they die, and just as she had predicted, the roller coaster derailed.
Which I kind of have a problem with that, because one of the big things was the camera got strapped, but he got off. So it's...
I know. Well, that's the thing about Final Destination. Is like, okay.
It's like,
happened anyway.
But like, none of the events.
I think it's just because it will always like happen.
Yeah.
It's always meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So a little while later, we see Wendy is majorly grieving the loss of everybody pretty much around her. And her and Kevin are like out in the rain.
When they're at school, I'm gonna be honest. They clearly spent all the extra budget on the carnival scene because there's no one at this school.
Right.
It's literally just the kids.
The kids are already in the movie. Yeah, right. And it was a sad scene. So they put the Twilight filter over it. Yeah. The blue Twilight filter. Because it was in the rain. All dramatic.
But this was before Twilight.
They predicted it. Well, I guess at this point it would be called the Ring filter.
The Ring filter. You're right. They put the Ring filter on.
Because that movie is truly where
that movie is blue. That is a blue movie.
That was one of our earliest episodes.
If you want to hear us talk about how blue that movie was, go watch or go listen to The Ring.
That's a great one.
It's a fun one. I love that movie.
One of my favorites. Yeah. So anyway, Wendy and Kevin are talking about like what happened, and they're all sad. Kevin wants to be there for her because he promised Jason, I guess, that he would look after her. And she's like, yeah, for the 3 minutes while we rode the ride. And he like takes it seriously. He's like, no, I took that to heart. Like, I'm going to make sure you're okay. And she goes like, oh, fuck you. I can take care of myself.
And she's like, I wouldn't even been friends with you.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for my boyfriend being friends with you.
She's angsty.
And your girlfriend being friends with me.
So,
but also, she's like more upset about her boyfriend. She never really gives a shit about Carrie.
True.
It's like, yeah, fuck Carrie, I guess.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know who the fuck that woman was.
You were BFFs.
If I saw her walking down the street, I wouldn't know
Wouldn't know a thing.
So Ashley and Ashlyn come up and invite Wendy to the tanning salon. Because they're like, oh, this will be so nice of us. Let's go invite the sad girl.
Yeah.
And she declines. And Kevin stops Wendy as she is about to like drive away all angsty. And he tells her that he has been doing research, okay? He looked for evidence like Lady Gaga on January 6th.
Yeah.
And he has found articles online from the news of similar events that have happened before. Like, basically, he describes the first two movies.
Yeah.
And, like, what happened then.
Yep.
And she goes, fuck you, Kevin. And she drives
And the number
away.
180 is very important.
Keeps coming back. Yeah, because it was Flight 180 from
and then
the
it was
first
Highway
movie.
180.
So later we see her having a breakdown to her sister. So, like, her sister's been a huge bitch this whole time with her annoying little Senorita Awesome hat. Yeah. And she comes in and she's like, this is my bracelet. And she, like, starts going away. And she's like, wait, Julie, I really need some help. And, like, actually has, like, a heart-to-heart with her. And I really liked this because, like, then the sister, like, totally changes her tune. And, like, when she realizes that, like, her sister, like, is being for real.
Yeah. She's like, oh, okay, sister mode has to kick in.
Sister mode. And she's like, of course, I'm here for you. Like, whatever you need.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, I like that she wasn't, that this was really good because they could have easily made her just like continue to be a bitch that you don't care about her, but you do like, are like, okay, they have a normal sibling relationship.
So you're like,
great.
okay.
I love that they do that.
I like Julie. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like a real sibling relationship because it's like, yeah, my siblings get on my nerves, but like if they were like,
you bicker and you bicker and you bicker until the time comes to like, okay, no, I need to be there for you and support. Yep. At the tanning salon. I'm sorry. I have to laugh because it's the best part.
This really is the best part. I think this is my critique in the movie is the best part so early that the rest of the movie is just like, okay.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
It's just not as fun because this scene.
So our divas.
Ashley and Ashlyn, they want to get real tan, not a base tan. They want to get real tan because it's graduation.
Right, and it's the early 2000s, bitch. Like, Jersey Shore, okay?
Yep.
Like, we want to be Guidos. Guidettes. We want to be Guidettes. And the owner of the salon is very, like,
he's like
negligent.
Eastern European.
He is not paying any attention, and he's on the phone with his boss or whatever. So they're allowed to get into the salon room with their big-ass slushies from the gas station.
Yes, which he told them not to do.
He was like, no drinks in the room, da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, whatever, we'll sneak them. And they go in. They are looking through the CDs, and this is where your beef comes in. CD you told me about.
They're looking for music, and they're like, Celine? Britney? Are we the only cool people who come here? First of all, don't talk about my divas Celine and Britney like that.
First of all, whore. Second of all,
slut. They're both lesbians.
Yeah, I'd say Ashley
is the lipstick lesbian, and that would make Ashlyn the man.
Yeah, why don't they like Celine Dion and Britney Spears? Fuck you.
They would have had it in the zone.
Right, exactly. I think this is them being like, okay, we need to make sure everyone hates these characters, including the gays.
Yes.
So.
But I don't know. It's really hard for me to still turn.
But I still love them. They're cunty.
So.
They pick out a song.
Roller Coaster. Which.
Of love.
And while they're at the tanning salon, Miss Wendy's looking through her photos that she took. Because she just needs to upload them real quick before she gives it to her sister. But then she starts noticing some shit going on in the photos.
Yeah, didn't it say, like, die? It was, like, die.
Yeah.
And the lights, right?
Yes.
She's, like, looking at all, like, the details in the background. And we see a picture of, what is it, Jason, her boyfriend. He's standing, like, where the roller coaster, you can see it in the background. And it looks like there's the cart of the roller coaster getting ready to, like, go right through his head.
Yeah.
So she's like, that's a really weird coincidence. And so she starts to go through this. She sees a picture of Miss Ashley and Miss Ashlyn. And their picture is all, like, overexposed, and it has weird lights going on.
A big flash thing in front of them, like, of a red and orange hue.
And it looks like they're on fire. So they're in the tanning booths.
And they turned up the heat, which you're not supposed to do in a tanning.
Yeah, she's like, whatever, we'll just turn it up. It's so cold in here.
Which you're not supposed to do for a reason. And then...
the condensation from their slushies.
gets into the HVAC.
Yep, and kind of like fucks it up.
Fries it, and that HVAC starts turning all the way up.
And they're like, it's hot in here.
Girl, it's getting really hot, right?
Meanwhile, this whole time they've been jamming out to Roller Coaster. This is like a musical number, like how they're like tapping their toes.
Yeah.
They do like a full lip sync.
Yeah. We also see their titties.
Oh yeah, they got their titties out too. Which, yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Especially during this time period.
Yeah.
And the owner, he had used a bottle of sunscreen.
To keep the door from locking.
But it starts like leaking all the sunscreen out, so the door just gets shut.
Yeah.
Ultimately. And so he's locked out. He's trying to get in. The tanning beds start to sizzle and zap. And bitch, they start to burn up in the tanning beds.
Yes, well, because they're trying to get out, but some shelf fell and like lodged between the two of them, so they couldn't lift it.
Which, I mean, like, if they had just kind of, like, scooted it over, but they're like, help!
And then the glass starts breaking. One of them falls through the glass.
Yes.
And so then it gets set on fire. And
this is crazy, because it's like an overhead
shot of them burning in the
tanning beds.
And then it changes to them in their caskets.
Their caskets! It's like, boop! And we're at the funeral, we're looking down on their caskets. It's so funny, like, the way that it's
also that their funerals were together.
Yeah. Right, and like seemingly like none of their family members were there. It's just all the kids. Like again, they had no money for like
you don't see. There's like old people up front, but I'm like, those look too old to be parents.
Right,
like, where are their parents?
So funny.
Why is nobody like sobbing?
And so yeah, they're like really sketched out. Like that was such a weird coincidence again, right? And Wendy and Kevin go over to visit Jason's grave, and they have this whole philosophical quandary of fear and lack of control.
Yeah.
Which they're like so heavy-handed with that theme this whole movie. Like the amount of times they're like, you're losing control.
Yeah.
I'm in control. This is a movie about control.
My control. Control of what I say.
Whether I die.
A control of whether I live.
And I'm gonna do it my way. 'Cause it's all about control. And I've got lots of it.
Control.
When I'm on a roller coaster. Control. When I'm in a tanning bed.
Control.
And Wendy says she's been feeling a dark presence. And as she says this, the trees begin to like rustle behind her.
There's a lot of wind moments.
And it's like, that's a motif that's in all these movies. It's supposed to symbolize like death, like the personification of death.
Yeah.
To all of them. But this is funny because she was like, I've been doing research too, and she pulls out Abraham Lincoln, and it's like the picture that famously has that crack in it right where he got shot, like through his eyes or through his head. And then she pulls out, I'm sorry, I don't know why this made me laugh, but she pulled out a picture of 9/11.
She's like, look, a shadow on the towers. It's like, diva. Diva.
I thought that was so fucking funny. Also, did the directors and the producers of this movie really need to include 9/11 in their hokey pokey little jokey movie?
It was like, I'm sorry, but 2006, a little too soon.
That was definitely recent as fuck.
It was too soon.
Like, whoa.
But they're like, yeah, let's do it. Because like nowadays, I'm like, okay, yeah.
That made me fucking laugh. I was like, oh my god.
2006.
Are you trying to imply that 9/11 was a result of the Final Destination death manifestation? Right? Like, what the fuck? Like, you do not get to do that.
So we're going through all these photos.
Yeah, and she shows him the pictures that she took, and they realize that people are dying in the order of where they were sitting on the ride.
Yeah, how they would have died.
And they find a picture, and it's of Frankie, and he looks like, in the picture, he's like hanging from something. And they're like, oh no, we have to save perv Frankie.
Yeah.
Which I would have let his ass die. But... Anyway. But first they go through the drive-through, and this like big truck, like garbage truck, starts backing into the side of their car and like doesn't really like, how do you not see them?
Yeah.
I thought that was so annoying. And they're like, oh my god, like this guy, he's like closing us in. And then there's an arguing couple in the car behind them that aren't realizing that anything's going on.
Yeah.
They're parked behind them. And then she turns around. This was so campy. She's like, wait, there's nobody in that truck. And there's like a big semi and it's just rolling
down the hill.
And then like the driver is like running after it like, my truck. That shit made me laugh.
Like, what are you gonna do, buddy? Because at that point, if I would just be like,
well, He's like, no, it's like Spider-Man running for the bus.
Yes.
He's like, please, wait. And then Mary Elizabeth Winstead is like, we got to get out of here. They break through the windshield.
Well, they try to honk the horn.
Oh, the arguing couple isn't paying attention. And then the guy in front of them gives them the finger.
They're like, pull up. Like, and so they get out just in time. And the other couple finally sees what's going on. They pull out of the way.
And so
that truck slams into Kevin's truck or car. The guy in front of them was in a convertible. The car goes whoosh into his, and like the
engine or something
smashes into his head.
Like grinds, like shreds the back of his
head. And they
head.
realize that it's the fucking pervy guy.
It was the pervy guy. It was whatever his name was.
Him, pervert.
Pervert, right?
It was pervy guy.
Frankie, he dies.
And then the thing like starts up and it spins and just cuts it even more. And it's like, damn, imagine being that drive-thru worker and just looking out and they're like, damn, I didn't even give them their sauce.
Damn, wait, what's your sauce?
Damn, sir, are you okay? What's your sauce?
A vanilla frosty? Okay, what's your sauce with that? So they're freaked out. They're reviewing the photos again and they see that Frank's picture showed him standing with his head in front of a fan.
Yeah.
So then they also see a photo of football guy.
Because they're like, okay, we got to figure out how we think everyone's going to die. And they refuse to look at their own photos because they're like, nope. If we do that, we're going to be freaking out and be paranoid the whole fucking time. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart. Especially if you know, like, okay, I have this many people in front of me.
Yeah, but they do say that, like, when it gets down to it,
and
if everyone else is dead, we need to look at those photos.
And the photo of the football player, he's at the weight thing where he was ringing the bell.
Yeah.
He's ducking away where you can't see his head. And she's like, it looks like a weight is going to crush his head.
Getting ready to drop on him. Yeah. And there's also some, like, swords, like, crossing swords in the background.
That has to do with their football team is the Sultans. And so he was like, oh, he's at training camp.
Yeah, we have to go. We have to warn him. It's the Final Destination thing.
Yeah.
Like, we have to go warn him.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. So they get to the gym, and he is lifting weights aggressively, and he's yelling at them and being an asshole and calling them names.
I just don't like you. And
this whole scene's great because Wendy keeps, like, looking around the room and seeing, like, things that could cause
weights,
an accident.
And then there's like these swords, like the Sultan swords,
like their logo or whatever.
Yeah, and they're like actual swords. So she's like, shit, are they gonna fall and like cut off his head? Like, is he gonna get beheaded?
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
And he almost done. There's like a whole fake out where like
the swords fall and they cut like the rope
right behind his head.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, fuck death. I cheated death, and he starts like talking shit.
And it cut the wire to the weight machine he was using. And so when he presses it, the weights don't
come down and like smash his head like a fucking watermelon. And like the brain chunks like hit the camera lens.
Yeah, and it hits the other two get covered in blood.
Yeah.
Wendy and Kevin get covered in his blood. And it's just like, next scene, there's just them walking out of the camp like traumatized as fuck, right? She's literally in like new clothes. And she's just like,
they're looking down like, what the fuck?
And she's giving the Miss Jackson.
Yeah. Miss Jackson. The smile.
She's just giving that
frozen,
look.
like 30-yard smile, yeah.
Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson? So
they go to the goth kids. Their names were like Zip and Zap or something.
The guys, it's McKinley. His last name is McKinley.
It's McKinley,
Isn't it
right.
Kyle?
Ian McKinley.
Ian
McKinley. But he goes by like Zip and she goes by Zap, I think. I don't know. It was some shit
and so they're like, okay, they're the two next. How are they gonna die?
They're working in some kind of like warehouse.
Yeah, it's like a Home Depot.
Home Depot at night.
Like a Home Depot.
Yeah.
Their job is closing. They're the closers at Home Depot.
Right, okay. And he's like driving around a forklift.
And he's killing pigeons with a nail gun.
You love pigeons.
I do.
Did you feel sad?
I did, because I like pigeons.
You have like a weird obsession.
I don't have a weird obsession.
It's kind of a sex thing. And
Shut up. No, just when we went to New York, I just really like pigeons. I think they're funny. They're funny birds. I think they're really cool looking.
And they're harmless. Why you gotta shoot them down with a nail gun?
They're literally like they're first of all super clean, which people think, because people always say like they're the rats of the sky in New York, but it's like, no, rats are dirty. Pigeons are actually very clean animals. And I guess there's this thing going on, because I follow this woman named Mother Pigeon, who she's like...
She's like the pigeon lady from Home Alone too?
Basically, and you know my pigeon in my kitchen up there? The one? She made that. I bought it from her.
Oh, wait, no, I remember this. Yeah.
And I follow her on Instagram, and I guess a big thing that people do in New York, like it's an industry, people will capture pigeons and you can sell them to shooting ranges where they basically clip their wings and they basically use them for like shooting.
Oh my God.
And so she's been protesting that and like trying to get that banned.
What the fuck?
I think should, because pigeons are literally the most harmless thing in that city.
What the hell?
So, yes, anyway,
Justice
I love pigeons.
for the pigeons.
So you know what? Fuck you, Ian McKinley.
Yeah, fuck these goth kids, okay? I don't like zip and
Everything
zap.
they get, they deserve.
Exactly. So
And this is just a long, convoluted sequence of like, what's going on?
I thought so too. It's kind of
great,
It's
but it's
great,
like,
but it's like I can't even describe like the weird
y'all. I
Rube
can't. But
Goldberg
basically, like
that happens.
One of the they're there warning those two, and they're kind of like joking about it, and like. But then Ian's kind of like, well, maybe what would happen if we went out of sequence? What if the last person to die died right now?
Exactly.
Would that just cancel the whole thing
He's
out?
like Newton's law of motion for every
action. There's a reaction.
Exactly, shit like that, and so, eventually. Goth girl, she kind of looks like Hayley Williams.
Yeah, I kind of liked her. She was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, I love a Hayley Williams girl. She knocks some chains over, causing a domino effect, and then the forklift begins to take off by itself, and then it runs into like a shelf of hardware items.
And it's knocking and they're like trying to figure out what's going to kill Ian. They're trying to figure out, and then Wendy notices the shelf, like the giant warehouse shelf is shaking, and she sees a bunch of like wooden stakes. And she's like, that's it. That's what's, and so like, then like that falls over, they push him out of the way, but it causes a reaction that Miss Hayley Williams falls in a way that the nail gun shoots through her whole head multiple times.
She gets impaled with nails. It was like...
She's like, oh.
I loved this.
This is a great effect. This is so good.
Not only was it really campy, because like how?
Because like after she's like all of that, she lets out like a whimper. She goes,
yeah. It was like slapsticky. I loved it, and the effects looked amazing.
And so Ian got skipped in the sequence.
Yeah,
Ian's safe.
So maybe he cheated death. After being questioned by police, Kevin and Wendy are released.
Kevin says he didn't say anything.
And she's like, I told them everything, and they thought I was crazy. So,
like, okay.
But they let them go for some reason. I would be like, y'all are number one suspect. This is crazy.
Yeah. Why are all these people around you dying?
Right.
Y'all weird.
Riddle me that. Y'all are really weird. So they decide that they're going to stick together and try to overcome Death's plan for them.
But they have to figure out who was in front of them. That's what they're trying to figure out.
That's the big thing, right? Because you can see the person in the picture, but it's covered. Their face is covered by someone's hand.
Wendy's like hopeless at that point. She's like, they could be dead for all we know.
Uh-huh. That night, Wendy is studying the photos, and she sees her sister's charm bracelet, which is one of Mariah's best albums. Charm
Yes,
bracelet.
it is. One of my favorites.
And she
Probably
sees...
my favorite?
Your favorite?
I think so. I'm a charming stan.
Okay, not when Butterfly exists, not when the Emancipation of Mimi exists,
Charm bracelet.
not when Daydream exists.
Girl, I love charm bracelet.
Maybe...
Girl, I'm not going to discuss this any further.
I'm just saying you're doing yoga because you are reaching.
It's opinions-based.
But it's opinions-based.
Parker. It's opinions-based.
Everything. Popcorn.
What country has the best food in the world?
I'm gonna have to say England.
No, it's not England. That's a good guess, though.
It's opinions based.
No, there are some stats that actually come out that's...
Yeah, it's still opinions based. Some people have more popular opinions than others.
So your opinion is England?
Yes.
Final answer? Mm-hmm. What's good in England?
Everything.
Give me one.
Everything. Popcorn.
So yeah, she notices that it's her sister's charm bracelet, so she's like, shit, is she actually wearing it? Did she let her friend borrow it? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And she notices that her sister is leaving with her parents for the
Tricentennial Fest. I don't know what the fuck that means, but they were doing like
whatever year that is.
Paul Revere shit. I don't know.
It's like a firework festival.
Yeah.
And so then she's figured it out, and she calls Kevin, and she's like, okay, like it's her, and he's like, okay, we need to look at our photos now.
Wendy's is in front of a black background,
and she's just wearing a shirt that says McKinley, and she's like,
it's their high school t-shirt.
Okay.
They go to McKinley High. That's from GLEE, and I want you to keep that in mind, Stevie.
That it's GLEE.
That it's GLEE. Because what I'm about to reveal to you that I realized watching this movie. It may shock you.
Okay.
And it involves the hit TV show.
GLEE.
GLEE, bitch. Okay. So, anyway, that's her photo. And then she looks at Kevin's photo. And his is all, like, close up in his face. And it's overexposed.
And she's like, it's just really bright. Like, something's like glowing in your face.
Like,
and he looks over. He goes, like a firework
went off in my face.
Damn.
That was spooky. Yeah. I liked that moment. So she rushes to the event where a fireworks show is about to begin. And one of the character actors playing like Ben Franklin or something, he accidentally pushes over this like cannon prop and one of the cannonballs like rolls and rolls back onto where the fireworks are set up on a truck bed.
Yeah.
So it's all like rocky and rickety crickety. So Kevin spots Miss Julie, the sister, and he's trying to convince her to leave. And this is when we see Corey Monteith from GLEE. Finn from GLEE. He is an extra in this movie.
Shut the fuck up.
And I looked it up, and it is him, and he is credited for being in this fucking movie. And it is a young Corey Monteith. R.I.P. Also, I went down... No. Hold on. I went down another rabbit hole. There is another GLEE co-star of his that is an extra in this fucking movie. And it's the gym teacher guy from the first season who was dating Miss Pillsbury.
Yes.
He is also in this movie in the background and is credited.
So, Final Destination 3 and GLEE take place in the same universe. Which means GLEE takes place in the Final Destination universe.
It's the same high school. It's the same high school. McKinley High. Yeah. Yeah. It could have been Sue Sylvester on that roller coaster. It could have been Mr. Shoe. I wish it was Mr. Shoe.
But then we would have never gotten the GLEE Club.
Exactly, you're right. So, anywho. And we see some shitty kids put some firecrackers down to spook a horse.
Yeah.
That was mean. And it starts running around.
I don't fuck with horses.
You know I don't fuck with horses.
I know. Here's the thing. I like horses, but that's because I've been around horses. I've ridden horses. So it's like, but I understand why people, because they are terrifying animals. If you don't know what you're doing around a horse, they're not like dogs. They're not like cats. So you can kind of fuck around with them a little bit. I don't recommend that, but like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like a horse, don't mess with a horse because they are big. They will kill you without hesitation.
Because you're a horse girl. I've always known that about you. Mm-hmm. You're such a horse girl. But I was never a horse girl. I was like a mermaid girly.
Yeah.
Because there's different girlies.
Because you're a faggot.
And you're not a horse girl?
I mean, I am, but like different kind.
Yeah, exactly. We're just different breeds of the same faggot, girl. Yeah. Come on now. But anyway, yes, horses scare me. And I read this book one time that there was this girl riding a horse and it bucked her off because they get spooked. And then she landed on her head and she went blind.
Yeah, that'll happen. People have died that way.
So this horse is running around and Julie turns around to give him the same double middle finger as in her photo. And just as she does, the horse comes by and it has like a rope hanging off of it. And
it wraps around her fucking neck?
Her neck, and it is yanking her around by the throat. And she's about to get snatched into some, like, spike shit. I don't even know what that was. Underneath a carriage or something. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck. And he grabs somebody's prop sword and, like, cuts it.
Just in time, right before show.
And saves her.
Yep.
And then this was so fucking funny. They're like, Julie, who was the friend that was next to you on the roller coaster?
They're next. We got it. And we see this one girl just, like, these two girls look at each other. And one stands up. As soon as she does, a fucking spike comes and, like, stabs her.
Impales her. It was so fucking funny.
I should have looked. I wanted to look. Because she is in that photo with Julie, I think. I wanted to see if there was anything that said it was going to be her.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. But that shit was so fucking funny.
It's like, no, girl, we never met.
Girl, we never met. Literally, it was like, not the other girl.
Not that girl.
Right? And so then Kevin is almost killed again by another explosion caused by the scared horse. But he is saved by Wendy.
Yeah, it was like a gas tank explosion for like a grill, I think, or something like that.
For like the grill.
And like she pulls him back just in time.
Suddenly, Wendy sees goth guy, Ian McKinley.
Yeah, because everyone's fleeing at this point.
He comes out and she puts together that he is the one that will cause her death because his last name is McKinley. And that was on her shirt. So he explains that his new theory is if Wendy dies, she will end the curse, right?
Yeah.
So maybe she should just die. Is he going to kill her? He is all threatening.
She says, stay away from me. You need to stay away from me. And he's like, oh, am I the cause of your death?
And he's being all weird. And then just as the fireworks go off that were set up on that rickety truck,
they all miss Ian.
Yes. And so it's funny because he's like, well, look at that. I guess I cheated death again. Da, 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 da.
And then this cherry picker that has a McKinley sign on it, it falls down and crushes him, cuts him in half. And so it seems the three of them have escaped death.
We cut to 5 months later where Wendy is now living in New York.
She's a big New Yorker. $3, 2 bags, 1 me.
Excuse me, does anyone know where a young prostitute like me could get a job in this town? So she's with her friends on the subway.
Two new friends,
right? And she begins to feel death's presence.
Because there's this couple singing a song, and the song was also used when she was driving to the festival. If it's there's somebody behind you.
Yeah, very foreboding lyrics.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's telling her friend, she's like, I want to get off.
Yeah.
We need to get off. And they're like, girl, it's freezing out. She's like, I
just need some air.
I just need some air. I need to get off.
Okay. They start to go, but then this football team comes on.
This huge crowd comes in and she can't get off. And then she runs into her sister.
Her sister, Miss Julie, shows up. And she's no longer wearing her Senorita Awesome hat.
No.
To show the passage of time.
Yeah.
I liked that detail.
Yeah, because it's 5 months later.
Exactly.
So she got rid of the Senorita Awesome hat.
Right.
Her friend died, and she's like, I gotta get rid of this.
Right. So the intercom system says the next stop is the end of the line. And she's now on the train with her sister because she's like, oh my God, what a coincidence that you're here. Let's talk to you. And she's like, okay, this is just a coincidence. But then she is double spooked to see Kevin is also on the train. Yeah. So something's weird if they're all here together, right?
We do see cuts of a rat on the subway tracks.
It's chewing through some
wires.
Electrical shed. And the train begins to derail. We get another amazing sequence. This is also so cool.
Getting killed.
Yeah, pretty much everybody dies on this train.
What's the sister's name?
Julie.
Julie, Julie, get down! Something just comes through and crushes her and
snatches her out, yeah.
It's okay. And then Kevin gets pulled out and crushed against the wall.
Right. And then the train finally crashes to a stop.
Yeah.
And she crawls out. And she's still alive. But
her leg's
broken. Broken leg. And then another train is coming right
toward
her. And it's about to hit her. And then
it was all a vision. And she says, it's going to the train's going to derail. We have to stop it.
Yeah.
And then it cuts. They all start panicking. And it cuts to black.
Flashing lights. You hear a crash.
And you hear a crash. So did they make it?
Did she cheat death yet again? The end. I really like this one.
It's fun.
I think it's so fun.
They're
and
fun.
Stupid.
I think they're not serious. They're not trying to be groundbreaking movies, I don't think.
No.
They're not trying to change.
It's fun, it's vibes, and it's death sequences.
Yeah, they're not trying to be the next think piece horror movie. Because they know that's not their thing.
So, there have been some good ones. There have been some bad ones.
This is a good one.
Let us know if you like this one and if you're planning on seeing Final Destination's Bloodlines. And if you think we should go see it. Because I'm not really in the mood to go see that one quite yet.
No, I'll wait for it to come out.
I'll wait for it to hit streaming. But if you guys think it's really good and want us to go see it and want us to review it,
we will.
Please let us know. All right, well, that's it for this week of Let's Scream. Thank you so much for joining us on the roller coaster of love. Please remember to follow the pod, like the pod, and leave a glowing review of the pod, of course. You can also send us movie requests for future episodes. You can follow me at Parker_Will_C on Instagram, and you can follow the pod at Let's Scream Pod on Instagram.
And you can follow me at StevieNash95 on Instagram.
And until next time, this has been
Let's Scream. Bye.